Hi Middle School Panthers, it's Mrs. Possel again. Just wanted to check in and see how things are going. Last week we talked about picking a focus word for the week to remind yourself when you were feeling a certain way that that's what you wanted to focus on for the week. It was a positive word that would kind of shift your thinking and also help your emotions. This week we're going to do a fun activity together that I'm going to show you. But first, let's start with the chime to kind of clear our mind and refocus and recenter. Here's our chime, so make sure you turn your mindful body on, dropping your shoulders away from your ears, resting your hands in your lap or down by your side. You can close your eyes if you feel safe, or you can keep them open and find a focal point in the room or on the floor to stare at. Tune into the chime and take a couple nice deep belly breaths as you're listening. And when you no longer hear the chime, you can open your eyes or return your attention back to the video. All right, so this week we're going to talk a little bit more about coping skills. So this week we're going to do a fun activity. Okay, I'm going to show you that in just a minute. But in the meantime, I want you to think about some things that typically help you whenever you're feeling bored, stressed, anxious, frustrated, any of those feelings. Okay, I want you to think of some fun stuff that you typically engage in that help you out when you're feeling those things. Right now, we might be dealing with a lot. We might have a couple different responsibilities at home, focusing on schoolwork, maybe helping out with younger brothers or sisters at home, maybe helping out with different responsibilities at the house. So it feels like we're wearing probably a bunch of different hats at once in a certain day. And being able to take a moment and recognize when you might need to, okay, I need to do a coping skill to kind of just recenter myself so I don't get stuck in these emotions that I'm feeling, can be helpful. If you've never tried a coping skill, that's okay. It might take some time to experiment with them and figure out which ones you really work for you and which ones you're like, no, they're probably not going to help me. So I'm going to list a couple different ones that kids might typically pick, but if you have some of your own, pick some of your own. I want you to at least come up with 8. That sounds like a lot, but with the fun activity that we're going to do, you will need to pick at least 8. Some things that people might pick are thinking of something funny. Maybe it was a funny memory that you have, or finding a silly joke to tell. Maybe going for a quick walk, getting some fresh air, that can help. Maybe it's just standing up and stretching and kind of re-energizing yourself. Stretching can help give you some energy and make you feel refreshed. Maybe it's using some positive self-talk. So writing in a journal and jotting down some different things to say to yourself, like I am capable, I am smart, I am worthy. That can really put your mind in a good mode, right? Maybe it's talking to a friend, Skyping with them, or calling them on the phone. Maybe visualizing your favorite place, closing your eyes and picturing that favorite place for a few minutes, or finding an image of it on Google and staring at that for a few minutes can be helpful. Maybe it's petting your dog. That might be helpful, or blowing bubbles, or doing a puzzle. That can really help you focus on something. Watching a movie, taking pictures, any of that stuff can be. So now that you've picked 8 coping skills, we are going to do a fun activity where you're going to make a Chinese fortune teller and put your coping skills inside of it. All right, so this is what it's going to look like when it's finished, and it'll be a lot of fun to try out. So what you're going to need is a plain piece of paper, and you're going to want to cut it into a perfect square. So I'm going to unfold mine here and see if I can show you how to do this, okay? So a perfect square, okay? So your first step is going to be folding that square in half and unfolding it. Then you're going to want to take each corner by corner, and fold them into each other to make a perfect triangle, okay? So you got your perfect triangle, and then you're going to unfold that triangle, and you're going to take these corners and make them meet each other to make a perfect square. So you have a perfect square, okay? Then you're gonna flip it, and on the other side, you're gonna make a perfect square this way. Okay. Now on this side, you're gonna want to put all your numbers 1 through 8. Okay, so I have mine listed. It's probably backwards because of the video. And then on this side, you're gonna want your squares to have a color. I did blue, green, yellow, or red, or you could pick your favorite colors. You can use crayons or markers to actually color them the corresponding colors. Okay. And then you're gonna fold it in half so that your squares are on the outside, okay, and that your little triangles are on the inside. And then you're just gonna take your fingers and go underneath those little flaps that you created. And you've kind of got your Chinese fortune teller here. Let's see if I can get it back to where it should be. There we go. And then you're going to pick a color. Whenever you're, feeling these certain things, you can pick a color. Blue, maybe we'll choose blue. B-L-U-E. Then you pick a number. I'll pick 2, 1, 2. Then you pick another number in there, and I would pick, let's say I pick 6. I would open that up, and my coping skills are going to be listed on these little triangles on the inside. So that's why you need 8 coping skills. So maybe it's go do a puzzle, or go for a walk, or listen to music, or visualize my favorite place. Maybe positive messages, positive self-talk, or all those things, those ideas that we came up with. You want to put 8 of them on the outside triangles, okay? So that's your little coping skills fortune teller that you guys can make at home. If you decide to do one, feel free to share with me maybe some of the coping skills that you selected and how it went. All right, so I will see you guys next week with a new video.